Are you feeling overwhelmed and stressed? You're not alone. Did you know that the average person makes about 35,000 decisions a day? That's a lot of mental energy spent on things that often don't matter. And, according to a study by the American Institute of Stress, 77% of people regularly experience physical symptoms caused by stress. What if you could change all that by simplifying your life? Imagine having more time, less stress, and better focus. In this video, I'm going to share the 9 things I quit to simplify my life. These aren't your typical tips, these are real, actionable changes that made a huge difference for me. From ditching the digital overload to ending email chaos, each chapter is packed with strategies that can transform your life. You'll learn how to break free from perfectionism, streamline your social circles, and even simplify your finances. Plus, I'll share some surprising facts and stats that will blow your mind. Ready to take control and find more peace in your daily routine? Stick around to discover how you can make these powerful changes too. Let's dive in. 1. Ditching the digital overload, how I freed myself from tech tyranny. Did you know the average person checks their phone 96 times a day? I was no different, and it was exhausting. So, I decided to take control. First, I deleted all non-essential apps. This included social media, games, and even some news apps. I kept only what I needed for work and essential communication. Next, I set strict screen time limits. According to a study by the American Psychological Association, reducing screen time can significantly lower stress levels. I set a limit of 2 hours a day for my phone. It was tough at first, but the benefits were immediate. I felt more present and less anxious. I also embraced the concept of a digital detox day. Once a week, I completely unplug. No phone, no computer, no TV. This has been a game changer. Research shows that taking regular breaks from technology can boost productivity and creativity. I found that my weekends felt longer and more fulfilling. Another strategy was turning off non-essential notifications. Did you know that notifications can disrupt your focus and increase stress? By turning them off, I regained control of my attention. I no longer felt like a slave to my phone. I also created tech-free zones in my home. The bedroom and dining room are now screen-free. This has improved my sleep and made mealtimes more enjoyable. According to sleep experts, keeping screens out of the bedroom can lead to better sleep quality. Lastly, I started using an old-fashioned planner. There's something satisfying about writing things down. Plus, it keeps me organized without the digital distractions. 2. Bye-bye to busy work, eliminating non-essential tasks for good. Busy work is the enemy of productivity. I realized that many of my daily tasks were just filling time, not adding value. So, I decided to cut out the fluff. First, I conducted a time audit. I tracked how I spent every minute of my day for a week. This helped me identify tasks that were non-essential. According to Harvard Business Review, time audits can help you reclaim up to 20% of your work week. Next, I prioritized my tasks using the Eisenhower matrix. This method helped me distinguish between what's urgent and what's important. I focused on tasks that were both urgent and important, and delegated or eliminated the rest. I also adopted the 80-20 rule, or Pareto principle. This rule states that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. I identified the 20% of tasks that yielded the most results and focused on those. This drastically increased my efficiency. I stopped attending unnecessary meetings. Did you know the average employee spends about 31 hours a month in unproductive meetings? I started declining meetings that didn't have a clear agenda or purpose. This freed up a significant amount of time. Another strategy was batch processing similar tasks. For example, I now answer all my emails in one go, rather than sporadically throughout the day. This minimizes context switching, which can reduce productivity by up to 40%. Finally, I learned to say no. This was probably the hardest part, but also the most liberating. By saying no to non-essential tasks and commitments, I created more space for what truly matters. 3. Cutting the clutter, why less stuff equals more freedom. Clutter can be overwhelming and stressful. I decided to simplify my life by reducing the amount of stuff I owned. The first step was decluttering my home. I used the KonMari method, which focuses on keeping only items that spark joy. According to Marie Kondo, this method can transform your life by creating a more serene and orderly environment. I tackled one category at a time, starting with clothes. Did you know that we only wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time? I donated or sold everything I didn't wear regularly. This not only freed up space but also made getting dressed in the morning much easier. Next, I decluttered my kitchen. I got rid of duplicate utensils, old appliances, and anything I hadn't used in the past year. This made cooking more enjoyable and less stressful. According to a study by Princeton University, a cluttered environment can negatively impact your ability to focus and process information. I also simplified my workspace. A clean and organized desk can boost productivity and reduce stress. I kept only the essentials on my desk and stored everything else in drawers or cabinets. This made it easier to concentrate and be productive. I applied the same principles to my digital life. I organized my files, deleted duplicates, and unsubscribed from unnecessary email lists. A study by McKinsey found that employees spend up to 2.6 hours a day managing emails. By decluttering my inbox, I saved a lot of time. Finally, I adopted a minimalist mindset. I started valuing experiences over things. This shift in perspective has been incredibly freeing. I no longer feel the need to accumulate stuff to be happy. Instead, I focus on what truly matters: relationships, experiences, and personal growth. By ditching the digital overload, eliminating busy work, and cutting the clutter, I've simplified my life and found more peace and productivity. Try these strategies and see how they can transform your life too. 4. Social media sabbatical: how quitting the scroll saved my sanity. Social media was taking over my life. I was spending hours scrolling through feeds, feeling more stressed and less satisfied. So, I decided to take a social media sabbatical. First, I deleted all social media apps from my phone. This simple act freed up hours of my day. According to a study by the Royal Society for Public Health, taking a break from social media can improve sleep, reduce anxiety, and increase happiness. Within a week, I noticed a significant improvement in my mood. I felt more present and less distracted. I also set specific times to check social media on my computer. Instead of mindlessly scrolling throughout the day, I designated 30 minutes in the evening for updates. This allowed me to stay connected without getting sucked into the endless scroll. Another strategy was turning off notifications. Research shows that constant notifications can lead to increased stress and decreased productivity. By turning off notifications, I was able to focus better and feel less anxious. I replaced social media time with more fulfilling activities. I started reading more books, going for walks, and spending quality time with friends and family. According to the American Psychological Association, engaging in meaningful activities can boost happiness and well-being. Lastly, I use social media mindfully. Instead of passively consuming content, I started engaging more actively. I followed accounts that inspired me and unfollowed those that didn't add value. This made my social media experience more positive and productive. 5. No more multitasking: the magic of single tasking for efficiency. Multitasking seems efficient, but it's actually a productivity killer. Studies show that multitasking can reduce productivity by up to 40%. So, I decided to embrace single tasking. First, I created a daily to-do list. Instead of juggling multiple tasks at once, I focused on one task at a time. This allowed me to complete tasks faster and with better quality. According to a study by Stanford University, single tasking can improve focus and efficiency. Next, I use the Pomodoro technique. This method involves working in focused intervals, usually 25 minutes, followed by a short break. This technique helped me maintain concentration and avoid burnout. Research shows that taking regular breaks can improve productivity and creativity. I also minimize distractions. I created a quiet workspace and used tools like noise-canceling headphones. I turned off notifications on my phone and computer. This made it easier to stay focused and complete tasks more efficiently. Another strategy was batch processing similar tasks. For example, I would dedicate a specific time for emails, phone calls, and administrative tasks. This reduced the mental energy needed to switch between tasks and increased my productivity. I also learned the importance of prioritizing tasks. I focused on high-impact tasks that moved the needle forward. This helped me achieve my goals faster and with less effort. According to the book Deep Work by Cal Newport, focusing on important tasks can significantly increase productivity and success. Lastly, I practiced mindfulness. I started meditating daily to improve my focus and reduce stress. Research shows that mindfulness can enhance cognitive performance and well-being. By being present in the moment, I was able to work more efficiently and effectively. 6. Breaking free from perfectionism: embracing imperfection to simplify life. Perfectionism can be paralyzing. It leads to overthinking and procrastination. So, I decided to break free from perfectionism. First, I embraced the concept of good enough. I focused on completing tasks to a satisfactory level, rather than striving for perfection. This shift in mindset was liberating and increased my productivity. I also set realistic goals. Instead of aiming for perfection, I set achievable goals that challenged me without overwhelming me. This helped me maintain motivation and avoid burnout. According to a study by the American Psychological Association, setting realistic goals can improve performance and well-being. Another strategy was accepting mistakes. I learned to view mistakes as opportunities for growth, rather than failures. This reduced my fear of failure and encouraged me to take more risks. According to the book Mindset by Carol Dweck, having a growth mindset can enhance learning and achievement. I also practiced self-compassion. I treated myself with kindness and understanding, especially when I made mistakes. Research shows that self-compassion can reduce stress and increase resilience. By being kind to myself, I was able to bounce back from setbacks more quickly. I also stopped comparing myself to others. I focused on my own progress and celebrated my achievements, no matter how small. This helped me feel more satisfied and less stressed. According to a study by the University of California, comparing yourself to others can lead to decreased happiness and self-esteem. 7. Streamlining social circles. How I found peace by saying no. Maintaining too many social connections can be draining. I realized I was spreading myself too thin, trying to keep up with everyone. So, I decided to streamline my social circles. First, I identified my core group of friends and family. These were the people who truly mattered to me. According to a study by the National Bureau of Economic Research, quality relationships are more important for happiness than the number of relationships. I also learned to say no. This was difficult at first, but it was necessary. I started declining invitations to events and gatherings that didn't add value to my life. This freed up time and energy for my closest relationships. Research shows that saying no can reduce stress and increase happiness. Next, I embraced the idea of quality over quantity. Instead of trying to meet up with everyone, I focused on spending meaningful time with my core group. We had deeper conversations and shared more experiences. According to the book The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin, deep and meaningful relationships are key to happiness. I also scheduled regular catch-ups with my core group. We planned monthly dinners or weekend outings. This ensured we stayed connected without feeling overwhelmed. A study by Harvard University found that regular social interactions can boost happiness and well-being. Another strategy was to limit my social media interactions. I stopped accepting friend requests from acquaintances and focused on engaging with my close friends. This made my social media experience more positive and less stressful. I also practiced active listening. When I spent time with my core group, I gave them my full attention. This strengthened our relationships and made our time together more meaningful. According to a study by the University of Missouri, active listening can improve relationships and increase satisfaction. 8. Financial freedom formula. Simplifying finances for a stress-free life. Managing finances can be complicated and stressful. I decided to simplify my finances to reduce stress and increase freedom. First, I created a budget. According to a survey by US Bank, only 41% of Americans use a budget. Creating a budget helped me track my expenses and control my spending. I also automated my savings. I set up automatic transfers to my savings account each month. This ensured I was consistently saving without having to think about it. A study by the National Bureau of Economic Research found that automatic savings can significantly increase financial security. Next, I paid off my debts. High-interest debts can be a major source of stress. I used the debt snowball method, paying off my smallest debts first to build momentum. According to the book The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey, this method can help you become debt-free faster. I also simplified my investments. I moved my investments into low-cost index funds. This reduced the complexity of managing my portfolio and lowered my investment costs. According to Warren Buffett, low-cost index funds are the best investment for most people. Another strategy was to declutter my financial life. I closed unused bank accounts and credit cards. This made it easier to track my finances and reduce the risk of fraud. According to a report by Javelin Strategy and Research, reducing the number of accounts can lower the risk of identity theft. I also created an emergency fund. This gave me peace of mind knowing I had a financial cushion for unexpected expenses. Experts recommend having 3 to 6 months of living expenses in an emergency fund. Lastly, I focused on increasing my income. I took on side gigs and invested in my skills to boost my earning potential. This gave me more financial flexibility and freedom. By simplifying my finances, I reduced stress and gained more control over my financial future.